Chapter 4. Elena has written back to the lady in Bath accepting her offer. She's also decided that she and the high priest need new clothing. They go out shopping every day, and in the evening I'm treated to a fashion show. I enjoy looking at Elena walking up and down the hallway wearing her new outfits, but I could live without the high priest doing the same in his. Instead of clothing, I get a pet carrier bag. It has a shoulder strap for the high priest. The bottom is nicely padded for comfort, and all four sides are made of fine mesh, giving me an unobstructed view. I test it by having my own fashion show. The high priest carries me up and down the hallway while Elena watches. But there's no time to test my carrier bag outdoors. Elena says that she has all sorts of things to do which, according to her, are more important. As if watering the plants is more important. Sometimes I feel like I'm taken for granted. The refrigerator door is soon covered with her notes. Most of them are instructions for the high priest. Don't forget to give the keys to the next door neighbor before you leave, so he can water the plants. Don't forget to ask the mailman to hold the mail. But some of the notes are instructions for me. One reads, don't forget to clean your litter box every day. How insulting. It's almost enough to make me regret I can read. On the day of Elena's departure, I'm in my bedroom playing with the little Pharaoh for the last time until we're all together again in England. Where's my passport? She yells from her bedroom. I can't find my passport. As I'm learning, traveling is very stressful for humans. You put it in your purse 5 minutes ago, the high priest tells her. I hear the exasperation in his voice. Unfortunately, I also hear all the sweet nothing she's telling him as a way of thanking him for his patience. After Elena looks in her purse to reassure herself her passport is there, she tells the high priest to take her suitcases downstairs, stand in front of the building, and hail a taxi. A few moments later, he's in the foyer, shouting up at us to come down because the taxi is waiting. I follow Elena as she heads downstairs and out into the street with the Pharaoh in her arms. After a kiss here and a kiss there, a hug here and a hug there, and after she has the high priest swear he's put all her luggage in the trunk of the taxi and she's given us her final instructions, she and the Pharaoh are waving goodbye from the back seat. The high priest waves back. I can't because I'm acting like a normal cat, if such a thing exists. In a few seconds, Elena and the Pharaoh are out of sight, gone. The high priest and I try to go back inside, only to discover the front door is closed behind us and locked automatically. And he's forgotten his keys. So much for Elena's warnings. Gato Haman, you're hopeless. It was the excitement, he says meekly. We can't get in through the back door either. Elena always keeps it locked. Let's see if we can find an open window. Good idea. None of the front windows are open, so we go down the small alley separating Elena's house from the building next to it and enter the backyard. None of the back windows are open on the first floor, but on the second floor, her parents' bedroom window is open a few inches. Elena hardly goes in there. Too many memories, she says. The high priest points to the open window. Do you think you can climb up there? I haven't climbed up anything in a long time, but I'll give it a try. What's the best way to reach the window? The trellis running up the wall might act as a ladder. I test it, first with my forepaws, then with my hindpaws. It seems strong enough to hold my weight, and I begin to climb, monitored by a very anxious high priest. Please be careful. If you get hurt, Elena will never forgive me. Elena will never forgive him? I'll never forgive him. I wouldn't be risking my life if he hadn't been so absent-minded as to lock us out. Be careful! The high priest has broken my concentration, and my left hind paw misses a step. I curse him under my breath. I continue to climb with no further warnings from below and no further missteps until I'm level with the open window. It's about a foot away on my right. I stretch my forepaw toward the windowsill. I've barely touched it when I lose my balance and find myself hanging by the claws of one paw. For the love of Tote, says the high priest. Doing my best to ignore his panic, I manage to dig the claws of my other forepaw into the windowsill and, with all the strength both paws can muster, pull myself up. There's very little room on the windowsill. Carefully, I push my head through the small opening between it and the bottom of the window. I can't believe this. I'm stuck. My head is half in, half out. Unfortunately, my ears are out, and I hear the high priest shout, "What is taking so long?" He won't be able to hear them anyway, so I stifle the curses that come to mind. I'll use them when he's right in front of me. But when will that be? I don't seem to be able to move forwards or backwards. "Well?" I hear from below. That does it. I must get unstuck so I can kick him in the shins. I try to push the window up with my head, but it's too heavy, and all I get from my efforts is a sudden headache. Next, I try to force my entire head through the opening, but I scrape the top of it on the rough wood. "Rappahammen, do not keep messing about. Just go inside." His words make me angrier, but also stronger. When I try to push the window up this time, it moves slightly, and the opening is now wide enough for me to wiggle through. Once inside, I shut the window so I can no longer hear the high priest. It's chilly in here. The furniture is covered in dusty white sheets. For the love of the gods, there's a cat on his hind paws in the middle of the room. My fur stands up, I hiss, and the cat hisses back. It's a good thing no one's here to see this. I'm hissing at my own image in a table mirror. What would the high priest have to say? I've almost forgotten about him. I go back to the window and look down. He's gesticulating, but he can wait. I haven't been in this bedroom since he performed the entering to retrieve from Elena's memory the ancient Egyptian spell to revive the dead. I had to use all my ingenuity and my tail to pull him out of the room, or he would have remained trapped in her memory. Ah, the high priest. I look out the window again. He's still gesticulating. I should stop reminiscing and go downstairs to open the back door for him. As I turn from the window, I again see an image in the mirror. I tell myself I'm not going to be fooled twice, but what I see in the mirror isn't my reflection. It's a tall woman with her arms stretched toward me. I turn and look behind me, but there isn't anyone there. It's probably the curtains moving in the wind, but I closed the window when I came in. I look into the mirror again. The woman is still there. I've seen her before. It was the woman in my dream who made me think of Norma. She begins to wail. The sound congeals my blood. She brings her hands to her face as if in absolute despair, and her wails grow louder. Never in my life have I heard such mournful cries. Though terrified, I have an uncontrollable urge to comfort her. I must touch her. I extend my paw, but in a blink of an eye she's gone, leaving only the echoes of her cries. Then I hear another sort of crying. No, it's cursing, and it's coming from the garden. I'd better get downstairs and open the back door for the high priest. As a very angry man enters the house, the telephone rings. "Must be Elena," he says. "She told me she would call us from the airport." He runs like a madman to the phone in the hallway, and I follow him like a mad cat. If that phone stops ringing, we're doomed. She'll come back from the airport. Actually, it's only the high priest who should be worried. After all, he's the one who locked us out. If Elena knew, he'd think hell more pleasant than facing her. I could almost feel sorry for him. Almost. He reaches the phone before it stops ringing. "Oh, yes, my dear," he says, breathless. "I was just in the kitchen making our supper." I jump on top of the small table where the phone sits. I hear Elena loud and clear. "Why didn't you answer the phone in the kitchen?" A good question. "I do not know. I forgot there was one." A poor answer, but she seems to accept it. Let me talk to Rappahammen. Holding the large old-fashioned receiver in both forepaws, I put it to my ear. "Please take care of Gato Hamon. You know how absent-minded he can be." An understatement. "Don't worry about him. Please give Alexander a big lick for me." Well, I'll give him a big kiss. "Goodbye, then. I'll call from England." "Goodbye, Elena." When I hang up, the high priest is staring at me with a look of horror. "What in the name of the gods is wrong with you?" I ask him. "Why are you looking at me like that?" "You are bleeding from a gash in the top of your head." I touch my head, and when I look at my paw, it's covered in blood. My hind legs give out from under me. The last thing I see is the high priest moving to catch me. When I regain consciousness, I'm lying on the kitchen table. He's looming large over me, and in his hand is a threaded needle. "What are you doing?" "I am going to stitch the gash on your head." That's the last thing I hear before I faint again. When I wake up, I'm in my bed. The top of my head is sore, and when I touch it, I feel a bandage. Where's the butcher? "Gato Haman!" I hear him hurrying up the stairs. He enters the room carrying a bowl, pulls a chair over to the bed, sits down, and switches on the bedside lamp. The sudden light hurts my eyes. "I have brought you a bowl of milk," he says. "Never mind that. What have you done to me?" "I have sewn up the gash in your head. Do not worry. It only took 5 stitches. My star, my star!" When the pharaoh was resurrected after I told Bastet I was willing to give my life for his, he took me up in his arms and kissed me on the brow, burning a white star upon it. "Your star is fine," says the high priest. "The wound is to the side of it." "Wait until Elena finds out. Please, please, Rappa Haman, do not tell her about your injury." "Don't you think she'll ask when she sees it?" "She will not see it. You will be wearing a bandage." "Won't she ask why my head is bandaged?" The nickel drops. "Please," he begs, "do not tell her it was my fault. I will do anything you want." Have I heard him correctly? Did you just say you'd do anything I want? Yes. Yes. What is it you wish? I don't know yet. I'll let you know. I have to give this serious thought. It's not every day such an opportunity arises. Let me rest now. Turn off the light, I say in a whisper. The high priest turns the light off and gets up to leave. Just to keep him on his toes, I give him a long, pained meow as a send-off. Maybe it's the darkness, or maybe my meow has touched a nerve, but he bangs his knee hard on the pharaoh's toy chest. Only 5 stitches. Well, only a bump on the knee. When I'm alone, I run my paw over the star the pharaoh burned on my brow with his kiss, the indelible symbol of our friendship. Then I succumb to sleep.